Good afternoon and welcome to Terrace Talk. And just like our intro, Rotherham United, a load of shit. Rotherham 1, Doncaster 2. I mean, Doncaster were awful. Absolutely awful, Doncaster was. He's got to go tonight. I thought the officiating was poor. The performance was poor. And we are 8 points off Doncaster Rovers. I just can't believe that we are 8 points off Donny Rovers. It's absolutely embarrassing. Got lots of comments coming in already. Waited far too long. Get rid. There is a bit of hope. Yeah, I mean, that first half, we played brilliant. Watmore were fantastic. Benson was fantastic, but we knew those players weren't going to last the 90 minutes. And the issue is, when a tactical decision has to be made, that's where the leveler is. I've said it all season. Tactically, this guy is inept. And you knew as soon as he had to make changes, we were going to falter. And falter we did. Absolutely gutted. They were there for the taking today. They're absolutely awful. And they're 8 points above us. We're losing to teams like Doncaster Rovers at home. And the fans, a lot of them are complicit. They've been allowing this shard to continue week after week, coming on the radio and saying it's not his fault, this, that, and the other. And anyone with half a football brain can see this guy is so far out of his depth. So far. I'm actually not even angry at Matt Hamshaw anymore. I look at him strolling off the pitch like a tubby. Even my laptop's falling to bits. He's just strolling off the pitch and he's beaten. Phil Cutter high. Bears, we only had the penalty on target. That chance he's got to go, this clown. Utter rubbish, be there in half an hour. Yeah, so fans are welcome to come on the show tonight as well. I just need to get this set up. I'm totally all over the place tonight. I'm just literally livid with this football team. How bad was the ref? Never mind the keeper. Make a save. Yeah, the ref was awful. I don't think it's the reason we lost. I thought it were poor for both teams. I think we should have had a couple of penalties, a couple of handballs. They were dirty. They were just fouling Gray every single time he got the ball. But it's just not good enough, is it, from Rotherham? We've got to be better. Just not there. Hamshaw needs to go. Second half, Donny were all over you, and you couldn't answer them. You need someone new and fresh in. Yeah, totally agree. I'm just going to bring a caller in. We've got Bez, who has been at the game. Bez, talk to me, mate. Yeah, talk to me. You've been at the game.
One thing I will say is, look at that football ground. That football stadium is far better than Doncaster Rovers Stadium. That is a fact. Well, where do we start? Obviously, Rotherham 1, Doncaster 2. I'm gonna start with like the referee actually. Obviously, we got a penalty in first minute, and it was a definite penalty. And I felt we should have had three. I think 2 or 3 more penalties.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, and I think that's obviously gone against us. But if you take that, if you ignore that and kind of ignore the penalty and ignore that shot at goal, we've not had a shot on target, not had 1 shot on target at all, and it's just a disgrace of a performance yet again. And the thing is, I'm not angry. I'm really not angry because I expected it. We've been feeling this way for months on end, and it does look like Hamshaw could be going because he was kind of waving to the crowd as though he were leaving. So I think there could be a decision made tonight, Lee.
Yeah, I think obviously he's gone, but I think it could be too late now, Bez. We should have been done weeks ago.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I mean, we've played Burton and Doncaster in the last two games and got 0 returns. We've lost both of them.
so
Great kick off, Donny.
I'm struggling to hear you, Lee, a little bit. But what I will
Yeah,
say
no worries,
is,
mate. We'll catch up with you on Monday. I'll catch up with you on Monday.
on Monday, yeah. Just before I go, what I will say is the sponsor again. They named their man at match with Sam Nombe, and I honestly thought Nombe was horrendous. Now, I do want to talk about Gray for a little bit because that lad, he's class, right? And
Yeah, we're no other.
he was literally playing on his own all game, and he was playing on the left wing, which was really frustrating. He's a striker. So yeah, look, I can't really hear you, Lee. So I might try and join in about 5 minutes when it's quieter. All right.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Catch
All
you
right.
in a bit. So Bez there, been at the game. Like I say, if you have been at the game and you want to jump on, give your view, we're more than happy to have you on. We have any support on, so if Doncaster fans want to come and give their opinion, they're more than welcome to come on. All you need is a camera phone. You don't need any special equipment. Tom always said back, I'm sure, but that's now has been 6 points past 2, got 0. Yeah, I mean we should be picking 6 points up against Burton and Doncaster with no disrespect to them football clubs, but we should be beating them. It's not acceptable. And the issue is he was backed in January, and with worse. But I did say when they backed him, I said the problem with Matt Amshaw is if you give him more players, it's going to be worse because he won't know what to do with them. I think it was better when he had little choices because he could then hide behind, I've got injuries. But when players are coming back and he's got more players to pick from, he is absolutely clueless. So it makes him look even worse. I think Drew Yearwood, he's definitely slept with his missus because it's just baffling how he doesn't get a chance. Ash says, fantastic first half. What's said to them was levels above. He'll be gone in an hour. Yeah, I think he's gone. I don't know how he survives this, if I'm honest. Taking Watmore off, what's he doing? He was the best player. Also should have snapped Bolton 2 million for Nombe as he is overrated, Jamie Holmes. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Watmore was the best player, but in fairness to Hamshaw, he was never going to last 90 minutes. He's not played regular. He's not had a club. So it were always going to happen that Watmore come off. But I do agree, Watmore was absolutely quality in that first half. I take back about Watmore being and has been. He was good today. Yeah, I said it when we signed him. I said he will be our best player, other than Gray. But Gray is going to be a generational talent. But Watmore is the best player on the pitch. And I thought Benson was first half. The issue is Watmore's only contracted to the end of the season again. So it's going to be another rebuild, more looking like a rebuild in League Two at the minute. I think they've left the manager sacking far too late. The ref was dire. Yeah, totally agree, Chris. I thought the referee was terrible. And I'm not blaming that for the defeat. So Doncaster fans, come on. But you've got to admit the referee was poor for both teams. I thought the equalising goal of Doncaster was a yard offside. Looking back at it, he's clearly offside. But what is Cameron Dawson doing? Sheffield Wednesday getting relegated. So maybe Cameron Dawson could end up back there because he should never pull on a Rotherham United shirt again. That is schoolboy goalkeeping and embarrassing. And a guy that's got such an ego, giving it to the Rotherham fans every week, he needs to look at himself and think he's an absolute embarrassment for that. performance. John Blundell, he has no words. No, mate, I'm not even angry. This is the thing. I'm not actually angry. I'm just gutted. It's affected my mental health. I think it's affected a lot of Rotherham fans' mental health. I think we've just had enough. I even heard it in the crowd. I thought it would be much more toxic than that, but I think people have just had enough. Half the people just went home. And I think that's the issue. People are going to vote with their feet. There's no point shouting and getting all irate anymore because the club just don't care. They should have sacked him before the window, in my opinion. And now we would be clearly sat outside the relegation places. I think had they sacked him in January, we would have beaten both Burton and Doncaster today, because I thought Doncaster were literally awful. They were there for the taking. Tom, I come in peace, mate. Harry Gray looks tidy though. Yeah, no worries, mate. Congratulations, Donny. I think that probably keeps you up as well. 8 points off the relegate off us now. We're 8 points behind you. I thought second half, your team were everything we'd want to be in a team. You stuck together, you dug in, you got stuck in. Your players celebrated and clashed heads, but they were up for it. We wasn't second half. First half, I thought we battered you. Second half, I don't know what he said to him at half time. I really don't. But credit to McCann. He's got him fired up that second half. I think he made 3 or 4 changes and we couldn't live with it. And that's the problem. Once we make those 3 or 4 changes and Doncaster changed their way of playing, Matt, I'm sure had no clue, no idea. And that's the problem, where I called him Big Boy and people say, oh, it's disrespect. It's not. He's not qualified to be a manager. He may be. I think it's a myth he's a good coach as well, because, I mean, if you look at the players we've got, who's he improved? I can tell you he's made worse. I don't think he's improved any player. Obviously, Phil Smith was coming out with clubs will let us trust players. I mean, we've injured Dan Gore. The other Man United lads getting 6 to 7 minutes a game. So I don't think we're really looking after them either. Gray running all over the pitch today. He's a really good player. Ended up pulling up because he's playing up front in a graveyard shift, which I've said all season. I said it doesn't matter who we sign, and that it doesn't make me happy to, but it's proved what I was saying all along. It's a graveyard shift, and it doesn't matter. And we've got a generational talent in Harry Gray, but it doesn't matter because we create little or nothing for them. We've had less shots than Doncaster today. It's embarrassing now. The lowest I've ever felt as a fan. Tom Swift, yeah, totally with you, mate. I'm the same. I'm past it. Get Woody in. No, thank you, mate. I think we need to get away from this. He's from Rotherham. He played for Rotherham. All of that. I don't want to do that. JT is looking to join, but you need to put your camera on, mate, for obvious reasons. So if you put your camera on, I will join you to the chat. If you don't put your camera on, you don't get on. So the reasons why Amshaw was appointed almost 12 months ago. Cheap option, also needs a total clear out, including Stewart as well. That's from Neil Brinton. Yeah, I mean, the good thing is most of the players are out of contracts at the end of the season, so whoever comes in will be able to have a clear out. If Big Boy isn't sacked this evening, we want the board sacking. James Wood, yeah, I think he's gone tonight, mate. I don't think there should be any worries that he's not going to go. Just on the way home, did he make the changes at half time? We was winning for fuck's sake, but Rafferty was at fault for jumping in for no reason. And Dawson, well, he needs sacking. Yeah, I mean, his changes I thought wasn't great, but Scott Kent is right there for me. It's not on the manager that an experienced fullback jumps in like he's an Olympic diver, totally misses the ball and leaves us totally exposed. That's not on Amshaw. And then also not on Amshaw is what Cam Dawson decides to do, where he thinks he's turned into a Premiership goalie and he thinks he can play out from the back when he's just not good enough to do it. They're both on individual players and they have cost him his job, basically. It's just not good enough. His body language as he went the tunnel suggests to me that he knew he was losing. This will be the end. Probably wrong, unfortunately. Matt Amshaw, by the way. Adam Lang, time to go. Donny fans were class, to be honest. Yeah, big respect to the Donny fans because could hear them all game singing, sold the away end out. And their team turned up second half and really deserved the win in the end. I know people are going to say, first off, we battered them, which we did. But at the end of the day, you've got to take your chances and you've got to then hold that lead. And we didn't do it. Credit to Donny. They've come back. They've dug in. And had a bit of the Rotherham United DNA that apparently Matt Amshaw brought back. So Phil Smith's comments now look hideous, really hideous, unfortunately. So, I mean, where do we go? I don't know. I really don't know. Russ, RUFC Bailey, I said it before Tuesday, we'd take a point from 6. Well, we took fuck all. This can't carry on, lads. Got to go now. But really, he's on borrowed time, up the Millers. Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't go tonight, we may as well shut the club down. I mean, I ain't ever wanting to watch any more Matt handball. Dawson needs to go. Yeah, I mean, but the issue is Matt Amshaw signed because Matt Amshaw believed that Cam Dawson was one of the best goalies in League One. Don't forget that. Fair enough, is not a Matt Amshaw signing. However, had he been out of contract, I think Matt Amshaw would have definitely offered him a new contract. He seems to really like him, really love him. Ref was bad. Amshaw is worse. Cheeky fucker bragging about winning 2 and drawing 1 in the last 4 games. Now won 2, drawn 1 in the last 15 games. Tosser. I think that's aimed at Matt Amshaw. Ian, I have supported this club for nearly 63 years, mostly as a season ticket holder, but today I chose to waste my season ticket money and stay at home. Sadly, this proved to be the right decision. Yeah, that's sad, isn't it? When somebody 63 years have supported the club, you can't question his loyalty to Rotherham United and they don't want to go. And that tells you everything you need to know about this football club. And it has been totally mismanaged by Tony Stewart, unfortunately. He has got blood on his hands, really. He's got a relegation on his hands as well, because the only way we're getting out of this mess is if we push the boat out and get a quality manager. There's no other options. It can't be Dale Tong. It can't be Richard Wood. It can't be one of the old brigade. It needs to be somebody proven at this level to get us out of this mess. I mean, to be honest with you, I think we would have been better off keeping Richardson. I knew would have got Matt Amshaw. Terrible. Gray is nowhere near strong enough yet. Yeah, I mean, he's 17 years old, Steve. I mean, I don't think we can be knocking Harry Gray. I think Donny fans have come on here and said they thought he was our best player. And for me, I think he was up there. Yeah, he does need to beef up, but he's 17 years of age. Of course he does. But he's expected to play full 90 minutes every week in a man's game. We should be using him a lot better. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think we can be blaming Harry Gray tonight. Reckon Dawson did it to get him sacked. All he had to do was hoof it into row Z. Yeah, I don't think so, though, because I don't think any other manager would want him. I mean, if I'm coming in as a manager, I'm looking at the free market to see if there's a decent goalkeeper out there, because Can's not good enough. And I think we should try and see somebody that's been out of contract at a club, hopefully. The ref was awful every week, mate. Also, I wonder if your players touched the ball playing hours on the first goal. But I do have no idea. I thought it was offside. Yeah, I thought it was offside, mate, the first goal. It was a fair bit offside. But don't matter. Counts. So don't matter. They make these decisions. Can we call out the thick Doncaster fans calling all singing "We Hate Leeds" scum to Harry Gray? Clearly, they forgot about Robbie Gott, started his career at Leeds and plays in midfield because of Bielsa. Yeah, I heard the chants. We all hate Leeds from Donny fans. Darren Ferguson for a rebuild. He does it every season at Posh. Being a selling club, always finds a gem, and he'll fetch some Scottish passion. So that's quite a good call from Ash. Actually, I'm not disopposed to that. Get your manager suggestions in the chat as well, so we can have a discussion on who we would like to see replace Matt Hamshaw when tonight he will be inevitably sacked. Also, that was the first time you've ever heard Doncaster in the first half. I will be glad we lost it financially. Get shut of Hamshaw. We joined in with Sacked in the Morning when Donny fans sang it. So Scott Kent saying that the Rotherham fans also chanted that. Glow of Action. If the board are higher up at the club, actual Rotherham fans, and they keep claiming they need to change shit quick, I don't know how they see what they see and seen for weeks and weeks. The board and court aren't true fans because letting this shit slide for far too long than it should. I've been letting the side joke, man. And that's a great comment, actually. I will highlight that because it is a great comment. And totally agree with you, mate. Totally agree with you. Danny, yeah, awfully bad again. We shouldn't even make to the post-match interview. If you can't put a performance in for a game like that, you obviously don't care. That's for the players and the manager. Roll on the rebuild. A change of manager would be too late anyway when every department at the club, coaches, managers, directors aren't bothered. You're only going one place, and that is down. I disagree with you, Danny. I think a change will bring a new manager bounce. You've just seen it happen at Wigan. And I think if you get the right man in, you give us a fighting chance. This league is shit. Yeah. So everyone's saying, I think if we sack a manager, get a good manager in, we could go to Bradford and win, because I don't overly rate Bradford either. So I just think the leveler has been the manager. I thought the crowd was very patient, wasn't toxic at all. Nombe is operated and never worth 2 million. The 3 halftime changes were game changers: Hanlon, Clifton, and Middleton. Yeah, I thought they did change the game for you. So well done. Yeah. Also, don't know if Woody is the right choice for you, but might be the only interim option. No, I mean, realistically, any sensible football club would have been looking for months now. We should have a replacement lined up. He should be sacked tonight, and the announcement should be announced on Monday morning for me, or Sunday. We can't mess about. We can't pee around. We've got to get the man who we want, and we should have been targeted him. Rumours of Paul Warne coming back as well. He has been at the stadium quite a bit this week. Would you take that? Dan McCann, off your pop. Okay, well, I'm staying here, mate. What are you going to do? I'm just fed up now. The worst manager we've ever seen, and yet someone's job. Dan McCann says generational talent. Well, he is, Dan. He plays in the Premier League. he's played for England and he's 17. Tell me you're about 17 stone, mate. So don't talk to me about generational talent. Harry Gray will play for his country. I'm convinced of it. 250, has he been sacked yet? No, not yet. Another one, generational talent. Tell me what you were doing at 17-year-old. Did you play for Leeds United? Did you play for England? And were you playing on loan in League One? I don't think you was you? So, you know, absolutely nothing. Glad I didn't get up early off nights. I called in Thursday. We wouldn't win. We'll never win. I'll never go to a game whilst that clown is in charge. Yeah, totally agree. Wayne Hill says no to Ferguson. So who would you go for, Wayne? You're saying no to Ferguson. Who would you go for? My pick would be Robbie Savage. I would get Robbie Savage. I know he hasn't done it at this level, so it's kind of contradicting myself a little bit. But that's one I would go for the long term. Was going to say credit for you being humble and giving us credit, but then you had to say you battered us. I didn't say we battered you. I said first off, we battered you. I think you can agree on that. Second off, you battered us and deserved the win. And you showed great fighting spirit. And your manager is actually decent. So he's seen that you was getting overrun and getting, as I called it, battered first off. And he made 3 changes. And it changed the game. That's what good managers do. And McCann did that for you. He's a quality manager. Streets ahead of Matt Hamshaw. And that's why you've won the game. Yeah? Because Matt Hamshaw couldn't live with McCann's tactical changes. They're just facts. I am being humble. I'm not saying we deserve to win the game. I'm saying first half, we battered you. Second half, you battered us. And deserve to win the game purely down to your manager's changes, which I thought were fantastic. I don't know why he started Billy Sharp. He looks like he's running in treacle way past it. And he changed it second half. He got pace up front. And we couldn't handle it second half. We're all over the place at the back. The goalkeeper decides to think he's prime Allison. And that's all she wrote. Quality manager. You're only Rotherham, steady on. Yeah, and you're only Doncaster, mate, steady on. 2 cup finals, 2 losses. In Hampshire, we trust. Postage says they all hate Leeds scum. I don't think Leeds care about you, mate. You Doncaster Rovers at the end of the day. I don't think Leeds are going to lose any sleep. I think they're preparing for a Premiership game today at Aston Villa, so I don't think they're going to be worried about what Doncaster Rovers fans are singing or saying. Darren Ferguson used to manage us, so that'd be spicy, but I think it'd be a great idea. So a Donny fan thinks Ferguson would be a good choice. Wayne Hill says, need a good clean out from top to bottom. Matt should have gone 2 months ago. Totally agree with you, Wayne. But fans were backing him, and he didn't. The damage is done. He should have gone 10 games ago. Too late to survive, even with a new manager. The buck stops with the chairman. A centenary to remember. That's from Alan Bates. Yeah, forgetting it's our centenary season as well. Guys, as well, the link is in the chat. If you want to come on and join me, we've had Bez on, who's been at the game. Donny fans, you're more than welcome to come on as well. Give your opinion. Like I said, I'm not like normal podcasts. I won't not read your stuff out or let you on just because you're not a Rotherham fan. I'm not like that. You can come on as long as you've got camera. You can abuse me if you like. I'm used to it. I get more abuse off my own fans, so I'm kind of used to it. But no, I'm not bitter. I thought Doncaster deserved to win the game, and I thought McCann's half-time changes were what you want from a manager, and I think he's a great up-and-coming manager. And first off, we could, as usual, get rid of the best players and put on the bench. Clueless manager. Let's get Warnock in to the end of the season. I'd love it if Warnock could come, but I believe he's already turned us down. I don't think he's going to come back. So that is not a starter. Has Big Will got the wallet to get Warnock to the end of the season? Keep the current coaches and Alan Neil. Alan Neil's at Sheffield United, mate, so I don't think you're going to get Alan Neil. Don't think anyone can save us. Also, like to know why Nombe is so highly rated, runs around like a headless chicken. I'm not sure, Steve Gray, but we're told he's the best striker in the league. We're told results would improve once Sam Nombe come back. He's come back and they've not improved, so that's all I can say. Gutted for you, lads. I'm certainly not looking forward to Tiny walking through the door today. Get him to come on, Nina, when he's home. It's yeah, get him to come on. Show down soft. Can you show your face on the camera and I'll put you on, mate? Promise you I'll put you on, but all I can see is a roof at the minute. So for obvious reasons, we need to see your face, because if you swear or do something silly, we have something to go by. So if you just show your face on the camera, you're in the lobby now, so I will let you on, but I'm not going to let you on with just a roof, picture of a roof. Uncle Phil knows the situation. Get Warnock in, pack in. Paul Warne earns 3 times much at MK Dons. What happened to 3-0, your weapon? Well, obviously we didn't win 3-0, did we? What do you want from that? Typical odd man on his keyboard. David Artell Wayne says he would go for. Enjoy League 2, Denny Dickinson. Yeah, enjoy still being ugly, mate. I'll be in League 2, but you're an ugly fucker. How could we be jealous? Laughing out loud. What did I say? Someone was jealous? Don't know. That was terrible. Has he resigned yet? No. Declan Doyle says Ryan Lowe. Anybody in the chat, would they take Ryan Lowe? Also, people had the balls to clap. John Sullivan, a member, so yeah, let him there. And get Robbie Savage in. So I'm going to get Tom in, who's been waiting in the lobby. I have got, I think, a Doncaster fan in the lobby. Mate, you need just to show your face. Just like Tommy's sat at his computer with his face, you will come on and you can have your say. You can come on and talk about a win. But so many people, man, the keyboard warriors, man, they don't want to show their faces. I know a lot of them are ugly, man, and like really scary to look at. But come on, have a bit of balls behind what you're saying. Come on, and I'll let anybody on. Doncaster fans, come on. Glow, I said we were going to win 3-0. You can call me a weapon. You can call me a pussy boy. Whatever you want to call me. Yeah, I've given Doncaster credit today. They deserve to win on that second half performance, down to McCann's tactical changes, which changed the game. You've got a great manager there. I think if he's backed, you could be looking better than just staying in this division. That's what you need to do. You got to back him. Tom, thoughts on the game? Thoughts on Matt Amshaw?
Bit like you, Lee. I'm not even angry anymore. I'm just. I mean, the game turned when obviously McCann made his second half substitutes. But what I will say, and this is not for debate, their goal was a mile offside.
Yeah, it was offside. I mean, obviously, I've watched it back, and he's a good 2-yard offside.
I can only assume that in his post-match press conference, anybody who's watching that, come on here and let us know what he said. But I mean, I think he'll blame that. He'll say at that point in the game, it got their tails up, and then it was the next goal was going to win it. And unfortunately, it's not on Hampshire for what Cam Dawson does, thinking that he's Edison. So yeah, I mean, listen, Harry Gray today, he reminded me. Do you know when Tottenham just couldn't score goals and Kane decided to just start dropping deep and getting the ball and try to do everything himself? That's what Gray did today. And I'm sure he wasn't told to do that. I'm thinking he's just thinking, right, I'm a young kid here. I want to win this game. And as Bez said, yeah, we had a penalty. We scored the penalty. The referee should have booked that keeper for sheer time wasting. But listen, end of the day, it doesn't matter. We've lost 2-1. We didn't even look like scoring. It looked like equalising. There was nothing in the end. Absolutely nothing. And there can only be one resolution now, and that would be a change of manager. It has to be. It has to be.
So a few people have come up with a few different names: Ferguson, Lowe, Richard Ward, Neil Warnock. Who would you go for?
If we want to stay in the league, we'd have to look at Warnock, but we're not going to get Warnock in bottom end. He'll be looking at a championship club with having to keep close tabs on him near the bottom. So that's not going to happen. Long term, it wouldn't be too bad with Ferguson. I don't think he'd keep us up. But as I was listening before, I think he'd be good at rebuilding. Richard Wood, absolutely not. I'm with you on that one, Lee. I think we need a clear out of ex-players.
Yeah, because a few are also saying David Artell as well. He's another one I wouldn't really go for.
I think David Artell could have been in the conversation about 2 months ago. But not now. Not now. And did I hear somebody say that Paul Warne's been seen at the ground or something like that?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Right. Maybe.
But he is big mates with Hampshire still,
yeah,
so he does often pop to the training ground. So I'm not saying it's anything unusual. It's just that obviously with him being close to being sacked.
Well, I mean, a couple of things on that, Lee. First of all, we'd have to buy him out of his contract at MK Dons. He's got them near the top 3, so he's not going to be stupid and come back to us. And
he's also on the same money that he was on at Derby in League.
Well, there you go. So
because he had offers from top end League One. He went to MK Dons basically because they offered him to keep the wages he was on at Derby.
Well, fair enough. So,
all these Donny fans, where was they when we went to their place twice in the same season, 5-0 and 6-0? For fuck's sake, they've won their cup final. Well done, lads. What the hell did he say to him at half-time? Terrible manager from Bricktop. Yeah, what did he say at half-time, Tom?
Probably much the same, lads. His mistake was, and I might be wrong, but I think he was thinking McWilliams is on a yellow card here, so I'm going to pull him out and put Martha on. And that's not like for like, is it? So I think we lost a bit of steel on that right hand side, to be honest with you. Yeah, so that was his big mistake.
Neil Warnock to the end of the season, get David Artell. Member John Sullivan says Watmore was brilliant. He was. First half, he was absolute class. Wayne says no to Ryan Lowe. Absolutely zilch second half from Bricktop. Totally agree. Nina Ratcliffe, no offence, but you're not a massive club, so managers won't be begging for the job. But what about Darren Moore? Darren Moore?
I mean, he's better than what we've got, but at the end of the day, look where Port Vale are, and he was part of that. So,
I thought he was a good manager till he went to Port Vale. That's kind of reduced his stock a bit. I would have probably taken him before that, but I think the experience he's had at Port Vale has kind of dropped his stock quite considerably. That Dawson mistake generally made me feel sick. I'd take Darren Moore. Yeah, I mean, what Dawson did today was unacceptable.
Yeah. In a game like that, you don't try and be fancy. You just clear your lines, and then we're having a different conversation maybe right now, but
yeah. So fans, again, if you've been to the game and you want to come and give your opinion on the game, if you go to the top, there is a link on the top. If you click on that, you don't need any apparatus. You just need a phone and a camera phone. So, and we will have you on. You can discuss it. We're having quite a lot of people keep dropping in the lobby, but they don't have their camera on. So we just need to see your face and you'll be welcomed on to the show. There's no script. Just tell us your thoughts on the game. If you're Doncaster fans, obviously you're going to be happy. Where do you think you can finish this season? After that, I think for me, I think you've got a great manager in McCann. You need to keep hold of him. I think he won you the game today with his tactical nous. Russ, don't matter what the manager comes in under this board. Good managers can be made to look bad by this club. Yeah, we had that with Steve Evans because Steve Evans isn't a bad manager. Remember when we beat Exeter? All the stick you got. Where are them clowns now? Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Where are you now, Bushy? Bushy, we beat Exeter. Yeah. And we're still second bottom. We're 8 points off Donny now, so well done. Paul Warne coming back, no chance at all. Yeah, I don't think he'll come back while Tony Stewart is there anyway. But if there's change in the back room and there's new investment, then who knows? But it will take a mammoth offer, I would believe. Paul isn't stupid enough to leave MK to go back to Rotherham. Look at the Donny manager, half-time, change formation and players. Matty Amshaw, oh, we're losing 2-1. Let's get a youngster. Yeah, and leave him out to die. Also, Dawson is a clown. So, yeah, Dawson, terrible. I really don't know what Dawson was doing. And when we look at the stats, Donny have had more shots than us as well. And we're at home. It's just sorry reading, isn't it, really? And look
what? Oh, God, do we have to?
Yeah. And as you can see, Donny now 7 points better than us.
Before I go, Lee, because I'm just still on my break, I'm going to have to nip off again. I do apologise. Yeah. I think it's inevitable what's going to happen. If it doesn't, he's never going to go. Would you agree with that, Lee?
Yeah, I agree, yeah. I don't know if he's done his match better yet, but if he does, people can drop some of his comments in the comments.
Well,
great.
What I'll do is I'll comment. I'll have a watch of it when I'm just on the way back to the park, and I'll let you know what he says. But I'll keep on watching. But I've just got a few things to tie up before 4 o'clock. So
yeah, no worries. Thanks for joining us, Tom.
Thanks. Up the KB Terrace talking up the Millers, and what a sad day for the club.
Sound, mate. Take it
Cheers.
easy. So Tom there, obviously, I think people are just beaten. Abby Knight says Dawson cost us a goal. Yeah, he totally did. You can't put that on the manager when individual players do stupid things like that. I ain't blaming Amshaw for that. It's just absolute nonsense that he did that. And I couldn't believe it when he did it at the time, if I'm honest. Abbey, but yeah, just gutted. Tony left early and he was angry. Well, Kaylee Wilson, yeah, Kaylee. I mean, where do you go from there? I don't know. We've got another supporter who's been at the game. I'm going to bring him in now. John, how you doing, mate?
I promise I won't make any comments today about certain things. I'll be a good boy.
Yeah, no worries. Well, did you stay till the end, John, today?
I did.
What was it like at the end? Were they boos? Were they?
There was a lot of
I sat with you before. They were clapping 3-0 loss.
There was a lot of clapping. So a few individuals came down the stairs, where I sit, clapping, and I went, "What on earth are we clapping?" And they went, "I don't know." Bizarre. There was a lot of boos for the Cam Dawson, as you would imagine. Unfortunately, I messaged you, didn't I, saying Tony had left. He was hiding again. But there's no excuses anymore for this. There's absolutely no excuses.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen his match press conference yet, but I'm worried about that if he does stay, because he's got to have gone surely now.
If he survives this, I think he could go the rest of the season losing and not be at risk of losing his job.
Yeah, and only managers keep the jobs in situations like this when they're in admin. Even Sheffield Wednesday, like their manager, and they're in admin.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's insane that this manager has kept his job so long. It's neglect. I class it as neglect now from the football club.
I think it's showing that they don't care. And especially, I mean, sitting bang opposite Tony, you can't miss him when he leaves. He's hiding behind his... It's just, what are you showing to your fans here? If you're showing that you're going to go and hide when and it was the entire stadium, but so Doncaster fans started it and the entire stadium joined in with the Matt Ham show, you're getting sacked in the morning. It was wonderful to hear. And he went and hid straight away up the stairs and hid behind his glass doors.
Yeah. Terrible.
But what is that telling us as fans? What is that showing to the fans? Like, I mean, I know I can appreciate a lot of fans won't see Tony Stewart because I get a opposite view. But what is that telling the fans? You're literally saying a big F off, aren't you? Quite frankly.
Yeah.
I don't get it, Lee. I just can't understand. And I know I've messaged you a good 45 minutes. It's already started on Twitter, mate. Already started.
Yeah.
Good 45 minutes, yeah, but then half time.
That's the thing, though, mate. We have not had 2 good halves all season. So I said, I even tweeted at half time. The big worry is now. The big worry now is we've had as good half of football. The second half ain't going to be as good as that. And lo and behold, their manager makes changes, and we can't deal with it.
But that's what I was saying that in chat, like. He made 3 big changes. He changed to formation. He matched us 4-3. He played a 4-3-3 second half. He brought up Billy Sharp off on for that number. I don't know his name. And they were matching us. And that lad with number 9, he weren't just tall. He was quick. He caused us no end of problems.
No problems first off, because Billy Sharp is finished in my view. He's like he's running in. He's only a player you'd bring on for the last sort of 15 minutes of games. Need a goal. But as soon as they took Billy Sharp off, second half, they caused us all kind of problems, and we couldn't deal with the pace, and we haven't been able to all season at the back.
And what we don't help ourselves when we've got Calamity Dawson having a picnic on. What is he doing? What is going through his mind?
I don't know what he's doing, mate. He must have learned that at Hillsborough.
Well, that's where we get. Well, I don't even think we'll see them next season if we go down.
No, totally agree. I'm just going to go through some comments, John. Let's hope Woody's done the post-match interview. That will tell us our answer. Kelly, did he walk down the tunnel again? Some people said he were waving to people or something as though he'd gone. I think
he was like almost turned to the fans, and like I didn't see it fully because of the crowd, but he didn't clap. I know that for certain, and he didn't come on the pitch. Only the players came on the pitch. Sorry, Lee.
Post game, usual crap. It hurts him too, and blamed individual errors.
Has he done it then? Oh, well.
He's probably going to stay, you know. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if he ends up staying. It's just insane. Paul Dawson times 14 minutes ago. Paul Davis, I think he meant Davis.
Davis, yeah.
40 minutes ago. I'm here until I'm told otherwise, says Rotherham
That's
United.
ridiculous.
Sure. I mean, if he was a Rotherham fan, he would resign.
Yeah.
Because if I'm the Rotherham manager and I know I can't affect the results on the pitch, because I love the club, I just say, look, I'm going to have to resign. And then it doesn't cost the club money either if he does that. But he ain't a Rotherham fan. We all know he's a big.
He'll be wanting to pay it. But also, just to briefly say, I know you've asked people about managers, and I've had this conversation a million times, I think, with you. I don't think there's money to sack him, and there's definitely not money to bring him anybody in. So all we're going to be left with is Richard Wood and Tongi, which isn't going to help us.
No, if they're going to do that and they haven't got the money to do it, they'd have to.
Yeah.
I'd sooner keep him than have Richard Wood. That's me being honest. I don't want Richard Wood as a manager. I've got told of someone who goes training that he's not going to be sacked because they've got the money to pay him off, but don't know how true that is. It could be well true, Wayne.
Very true, I'd imagine.
I'm not 100% sure myself. Dawson is a dirty Wednesday scum. Donny fan, I hope you stay up and we play you again. We played well, especially in the second half. Rotherham had a good plan of frustrating us, which was the right tactics. Second half didn't follow it up. Scott Kent is blaming individuals.
Oh my God!
In his presser. In fairness,
that's going to really help the young ones, isn't it, Lee? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is, I've got to agree with Matt Amshaw on that because it's not the young players that made the mistakes. Rafferty was one of them, where he jumped in needlessly. The goal was offside, by the way. It was the equaliser. And then second half, Cameron Dawson. Utter disgrace. Yeah. But at the same token, who picks him every week? Who said he's the best goalkeeper in the league? Matt Amshaw.
Yeah.
So you had the opportunity. You signed a goalkeeper. You signed a second choice because you believed Dawson was the man, and he's cost us big time today. There's loads of boos. I could hear them from down the car park. That's from David Fletcher.
There were loads of boos.
No way is Hamshaw being sacked, said Steve Grant. Tony disappeared with about 15 minutes to go.
Yeah.
So it looks like he left with 15 minutes to go.
He was hiding behind his little glass screen. He was there. He just wasn't visible.
Also says Donny changes didn't affect the game.
Hey? So 3 substitutes, a change of formation and a change of tactics didn't affect the game. And he's waiting until the 72nd minute to make a second change.
Baffling. You can't have said that. Surely you've got that wrong, Scott. Surely.
What's the definition? What is that saying, Lee? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again.
And expecting different results. Yeah.
Yeah.
Manager has to go. Rotherham players never carried the tactics out they did in the first half.
True.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what he said at half time. What?
Yeah, Bricktop says he was waving.
Waving?
Waving. Donny fan, I feel for you. Still stay up. Get a manager as soon as you can. And I think you can turn it around. Do it as soon as possible. Cheers, music. 80s. Totally agree with you. We should have done it at the beginning of January when we was all begging the board to do it. I generally think he might survive if they haven't got the money to sack him.
That's poor though. Well, so this is the thing, right, Lee? Is that saying Tony Stewart is happy because he's going to lose some money going to League Two? He's happy to go to League Two rather than sack a manager who's dragging us to League Two.
Yeah,
that makes no sense. Oh,
Still a big family, but you've not attended in years. Oh, so John, you know when I was at the Blackpool game, we sat at the side of you. And what it wasn't me, it was a cardboard cutout.
Yeah, I thought
So
that actually. I did think. I did. Yeah. You're a bit taller in real life, mate. That cardboard cutout.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but that James, I don't know if he appears on everything. He looks a little bit disabled, so I don't really want
I can't. He sits near me. I'm not going to comment.
Yeah, I don't really. So you may have seen me, James, because I actually come and sat in the same stand as you. So next time, come and say hello if you're brave enough to abuse me, because I'm very shocked if you would, because I was very vocal at side of John.
Yeah, you were.
Nobody said shit. Did they, John?
No.
Did anyone say shit?
No. Nobody said. Well, they were saying hello, but not by you.
Yeah, all love when I went, mate. So don't get brave on the internet because it's not a good look. Lee Bush for the Rotherham manager. Yeah. I wouldn't
I'll give it Poppy at this rate.
Let me tell you, I wouldn't do a worse job. You can't blame Hammy for individual mistakes. Yeah, true. That's what I've said. You can't blame Hammy for individual mistakes. You can't blame him for that. But what I can blame him for is him having no answers to McCann's tactical changes at half-time.
Yeah.
Changed the game. Individual errors cost us, but that second half performance wasn't like the first half performance. It was miles off. Yeah. And again, we only have one good half of football. I praised the team and everything. You can see it on X when we was playing well. So it's one of them. Watch post-match presser. He's going nowhere.
Oh God.
Adam Hinchelwood at Worthing for a manager did a great job at York before falling out with the chairman. He's getting Worthing pushed for promotion now. Look at his stats. He's a winner. That's from Hodge. Yeah, I'll have a look at him. Can't say I know.
There's only two. There's one big problem with that comment there. The board, because we know what Evans was like with our board. So our board isn't going to help that manager.
Yeah, he hasn't got a clue. Just pay him off. Get a fresh start. Hopefully, whoever comes in can keep us up.
True.
Tony will not be here at the end of the season.
I think that might actually be true. If we go League 2, I said this when I was on Monday Night Millers. If we go League 2, he sells.
Yeah. Get Artell. Would you take Artell, John?
He's a very good manager, but he isn't leaving his current club. Very good manager.
I think he'd upset a few people if he was manager, John. Also, I'm a woman, would never manage a men's team. It's just not right.
Too much stress.
Too much stress, yeah. Too much stress. So, John, so we'll start with the first half.
Okay.
We get a penalty early on.
Very early.
For a foul on Watmore, who I thought were brilliant, by the way.
Yes.
I thought he was absolutely quality. And I thought we played well first half.
Yep.
I thought Benson was quality first half. I thought Watmore was really good. I thought Archie Gray was really good. I thought Nombe had a quiet game again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get a penalty. It was a penalty. Their keeper was a bit of a disgrace. He was doing his things with his laces.
He did his unlaces in front of the referee.
Yeah. And Nombe took the penalty. Great penalty. 1-0 up. The perfect start. And I thought first half we battered them. They really didn't have any answers. I thought the referee was poor. I thought we should have had another 1 or 2 penalties.
Yes.
And I could only see one winner at half time.
Yeah.
But I did say that with caution because I know we haven't played 2 good halves all season.
Yeah.
So we'd had a good half. Hopefully we can keep the momentum up and play well the second half. That just didn't happen. Second half, we come out like a different team. I think the Martha sub was very odd. I'd have probably brought Yearwood on. I don't know what Yearwood's done to Matt Amshaw. He just doesn't seem to like him. And yeah, they then equalise with. You can't blame Matt Amshaw for the equaliser because no experienced player should be jumping in like that.
No.
It would totally.
He's lucky he didn't make contact because it would have been a red card.
It's like something you see on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, he did slip, but I think with that referee, if he caught that play, he's off.
Yeah, and then they put the ball across. He's offside, so it shouldn't have counted, but it does count. So we forget that. And then after the equalise, I think there's only one winner, and that was Doncaster.
Yeah,
I think they played as a team. They all dug in together into the trenches. And Rotherham, apart from Archie Gray, who I thought run his heart out, I think Watmore, he was always going to tire. He's not had a club, so he's not played much football. Benson's been injured, so he's always going to tire. So they had to come off. But we seemed to change shape when they went off. And then, obviously, they score a second. Pathetic defending again. And then they scored a third, but that was disallowed. Offside. But for me, I don't know how Sam Nombe got sponsors man of the match.
Because of the penalty, innit? Yeah.
Yeah. Who was your man of the match, John?
I'm gonna have to give it to. I know he went off, but Watmore, he caused the penalty, and it's gonna sound controversial. And I know you've made a good point about tiring. I would have taken off Nombe instead of Watmore because he was telling all the players first off. He's getting them up, saying, "Come on, lads."
Yeah,
he was encouraging them. That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
He's not even our player. He's a free transfer.
Yeah. The only issue is by doing that, John, you could risk him getting injured.
I get that, but for me, he was causing problems.
Yeah,
we were pinging balls to Nombe, and he didn't win a single one.
But it just shows you, doesn't it? Why has it took him so long to get him in the team as well?
Yeah.
Signed him in January. Should have been. I mean, when he come on the other night, he was the best player on the pitch when he come on.
Yeah, he's class.
His touch is unbelievable. His Premiership quality, his touch, and his movement, and he does, believe it or not, for his age, he does press a bit as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he were up there. He were in the faces first half.
Yeah, so I really like Watmore. He's got to be first on the team sheet for me going forward.
Yeah. I hope though. I know we've changed formation. I just hope if we are keeping him, he doesn't revert backwards. But like back to a 5-back, do you know what I mean? Well, it hasn't worked. We've tried it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it did work. It just didn't work for the full 90 minutes, if that makes sense.
True. Pete Scott says, people keep saying individual errors. It's end of February and we're second bottom. Get him gone. Yeah, I mean, he's got to go. Pete Scott is 100% right.
Yeah.
But we do have to be fair and say, errors like that, you can't put the errors alone on the manager. You can't, because they're paid professional footballers. They should not be making those errors. They are school ground errors. Yeah.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be happening on a professional football pitch, but it is. Yeah. The manager is out of his depth. But if they're not going to sack him, what do? We can't do anything as fans. I mean, where do we go? I mean, I find it. I'm shocked because I didn't even think he would do the after-match presser. I thought they would have said he's sacked.
That's it. Now that's him staying. That's him staying 100%.
It's crazy. It's crazy. If he stays, I dread to see the attendances because we've had people on. And they're saying they're not going to go again. Caveman is in the lobby. Again, Caveman, you need to turn your camera on or you won't get on. So I've made it very clear in the chat. When you come into the lobby, you need to have your camera on and you will get on the show. Like John did, like Tom did, like Bez did. Everybody can get on as long as they've got the camera showing in the lobby. For obvious reasons, I'm not just going to let faceless people on the podcast just to shout some obscenities. If you're brave enough, put your camera on, you'll get on. Yeah, so pop your camera on, mate. Happy to have you on. If you don't, you're just going to be sat there wasting your time.
Having a cup of tea.
Chris Page says that's a team showing they have zero confidence in the gaffer and staff. Yeah, totally agree with you. Wayne Earl says, I did say a few weeks ago about Artell, he would not come while Tony's in charge. It takes him 3 hours from Grimsby to get back home, but if he moves to Rotherham, it will take him an hour and a half.
Still away though, isn't it?
Yeah, but is Artell the man? I'm not convinced anyway. I don't think he's much better.
We need some fresh blood. We do need something younger. I don't think the older, no offense to anyone older, generational manager. I think we need like a younger end manager with a bit of youth about them, a bit of savviness. Do you know what I mean?
I'd like Robbie Savage personally.
Yeah, well.
The referee was very poor. Yeah, totally agree with you. Our core subs changed the game. The equaliser was assisted by the sub and scored by the sub. So he's alerting to Matt Amshaw's comments that the substitution.
There's no way he said that. That's absolutely amazing. Like last week, blames the fans. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. If he resigns, he gets no payout. Yeah, he ain't going to resign. I think we've said that anyway. He won't resign. I know his mum very well. It's her who told me about him. He lives in Chester. Yeah, because he used to be the crew manager, didn't he? David Artell. So that's why he probably lives Chester way. It's not too far from them. Get David Artell or Paul Hurst. I don't know what it is with Rotherham's obsession with former players and like Paul Hurst has never really done anything as a manager. He's been down the lower leagues, and for me, he's not good enough. We've got to look better than that. And I'm fed up of this. It has to be Rotherham United all the time.
It's not working, is it? Because Mr. Rotherham United isn't doing Mr. Rotherham United. So
Paul Warren and Ronnie Moore, but Steve Evans, the first time, all the success he had, he weren't Rotherham United then, were he? The second time he were, and it didn't work out.
I wonder what's different between now and then, because he pulled the trigger on Evans. He did. And he wrote, this runs worse than ever. I mean, we've had Exeter, which was a missed game. Nobody saw that coming.
We can't afford to pay him out. He's probably the lowest paid manager we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
So he sacked
Richardson. We binned off Steve Evans. There's no way we can't say, yeah, you Gerard.
We binned off Richardson and we binned off Taylor, who I would say would be all on more money than Matt Amshaw.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve Evans was Tony Stewart's mate, and he still binned him off.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. And we're not paying any of these managers because they're all now in employment.
In jobs, yeah.
Yeah, so we're not paying other managers off at the minute. So I don't believe that story. Another 15 games of torment, but all looks acceptable in reason for keeping Amshaw. We've come accustomed to it now, and it all seems the norm. Well, this is where the fans have got to stand up, because if he gets more time after this defeat, the fans need to protest. They need to make a stance against the owners, against Tony Stewart, against whoever is facilitating this shard. We can't accept it as supporters. And if we keep accepting it, we'll end up in the non-league, because we're just going to happy clap the way to League Two, which we're doing at the minute, unfortunately. Is that Caveman the captain? Probably. Yeah, Caveman the captain. He won't resign because he knows he ain't getting another job. Yeah, I don't think Moby Main would take Matt Amshaw. I don't mean to be rude when I say that. I just don't think he's good enough to be Maltby main manager.
I don't think
wouldn't even have
Tesco
him-
would take him at this point.
No, I don't think Tesco would have him on trolleys, to be honest. Why are fans obsessed with ex-players as manager, Artel and Hurst? Not a chance. Yeah, totally agree with Jamie. That's what I've just said. For me, I wouldn't go down that route. I want a fresh start and a fresh dawn. I want this crap taken out of our football club. He's holding off because he's too proud. He realises he's messed up with the appointment and it looks bad on him. But saying that looks bad on him in any ways. So he's got to do what he's got to do. There's no money in the club. I kind of disagree with that as well. I mean, we've gone and signed, how many players did we sign in January? 6, 5?
5, I think.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say we've got no money at the club. I mean, Watmore won't be on cheap wages either. So yeah, I disagree with that. Wonder what Paul is saying tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, Paul, why don't you come on? You went on Radio Sheffield Supporters Club. We should all back Matt, I'm sure. Come on and tell us why. I'm happy to destroy you live on air.
Who's Paula?
It's somebody from the Supporters Club that I think watched the other podcast. And
Is it her that sits in front of me?
And she's a happy clapper.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, and she was telling what a wonderful job that Matt Amshaw did. It's all
the last thing I'll say, because I'm my throat. I cannot understand why at the end of the game, right, we're going exiting and people they're going, and I go to him, what are you clapping? And his response was, I don't know.
Yeah. Crazy, John.
And before I say anything controversial, I'm going to love and leave you.
Thank you for joining us, John. Have a good evening, mate. Always a pleasure.
See you soon, pal.
Take care. Now I'm going to bring Bez in, who's back home by the looks of it, been at the game. So I want more of your after-match reaction. Give it away, Bez. Tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm not quite home. I'm at the pub. That's the pub there. But I thought I'd come outside and speak to you, Lee. So I'll restart. Obviously, I know I was on earlier, but I'll give it a restart. So the performance, again, it's just a very similar to a performance to what we've had in the last 3 or 4 games. It was a definite penalty. As I said earlier, we should have had 3, maybe even 4 penalties. And I thought they're all guaranteed. But apart from that, we've created nothing. We've not had a shot on target if you take away the goal or the penalty that Nombe scored. He's changed formation and he hasn't changed the thing. We've got in at our time 1-0 up, looking like the better side, I'd say just. And he's made a change. And I have to say, I'm scratching my head. Marta, who was at the minute really struggling, got no confidence, brings him on and plays him at right wing back. Now, Marta is, I do kind of feel sorry for him. I don't rate him, but I feel sorry for him. Every time he comes on, he's in a different position. Sometimes he's number 10, sometimes he's up front, sometimes he's in midfield, this time right wing back. I'm baffled as to why he came on. And the last thing I kind of want to say is a lot of fans will say that Doncaster weren't great and they weren't good at all. But what won the game for Doncaster was they worked harder than Rotherham, they made forward runs, they picked up second balls. It was as simple as that. That's all they did in that second half. And I was so confident that at half time, Rotherham would lose it and Doncaster would win. I backed Doncaster to win the game because we've had it before where Hampshire at half time, we've got a better manager on the opposing team and they've outclassed him tactically, and he's done it again today.
What are your thoughts, Bez, on his after-match reaction where he said that the half-time changes didn't affect the game and it was just individual errors?
Well, I've not heard his after-match reaction yet. I'll listen to it when I get home. In terms of the errors, he's right. I think the 2 goals did come from errors. So I do agree with him, but it still don't change the fact that they worked harder. They were pressing. We weren't pressing. When we had the ball, you could see all three defenders or four defenders, depending on what minute it was. You could see they didn't really know what the game plan was. They weren't sure whether to play into midfield, play it down the line, play it into a striker. They just didn't know. And that comes for me from the manager. And I have to say, I know we've all wanted him sacked for a long time. I've just got this feeling he's not going to get sacked. I don't know if you've heard anything, Lee. I know you've got your contacts, but I just think he'll still be here. I really do.
A few people have said that, mate. Apparently, Paul Davis has tweeted that Matt Amshaw has said that he will be the manager until he's told otherwise.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. So yeah. But what I have decided, I'm going to Bradford, right? Because I've already got a ticket. I got a ticket when the game was postponed, so I will go to Bradford. But I have decided that I am not going to any game after Bradford while Hamshaw's in charge. I decided that today.
Yeah, and a few people have come on and also said the same. I think Pete had also said the same. I think your dad said that he didn't go today.
He didn't go. My dad didn't go. No, didn't go.
Yeah, so
I was on my own. I was literally on my own.
Yeah, 63 years it's been going. Couldn't face it. Terrible.
Yeah, Dad, can't blame him, can you? You can't blame him.
No, you can't, and that's what I'm saying. People calling fans out, saying I'm not there, but I made a conscious decision after the Blackpool game that I'm not going again until Matt Amshaw's gone, and I won't. As soon as he's gone, if he's gone this week, I'll come to Bradford with you.
So, Lee, do you think he will go? Because we've been sat in pub, and I've got myself and another who think he'll still be here, and the other two who are at pub, they think he'll be sacked. So, where do you sit? Do you think he'll be sacked or not?
I think he'll be sacked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
From what I've heard, so what I've heard is they have been looking and speaking to potential other managers. I think they had approached Neil Warnock. I think he turned us down about just taking it till the end of the season. Don't think Warnock wants it, but I think he'll go. But it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't either.
Matt Taylor were there today, you know.
Hey?
Matt Taylor were there today.
Yeah, he was reporting, wasn't he?
Yeah, for Radio Sheffield, I think, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, who was your man of the match today, Bez? Did you have a...
Yeah, my man of the match was, and I think I mentioned it earlier when I first joined, was Harry Gray. I really felt sorry for him. He was out of position, and every time he got the ball, he was trying to do something. I know at the end, there was one bit at the end where he kind of had the ball, and he kind of cut inside and he lost the ball, then gave away a free kick. I get that. But he was trying his hardest, bless him. He was trying to create something.
He's 17-year-old.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
He was the one that was giving 100%. And I've had people on here saying, oh, Harry Gray's too weak for men's football.
No way.
And it's like, how can we be calling out? The club has sunk that low if we're calling out 17-year-olds.
Agreed. Yeah. I tell you who were poor today, Sam Nombe. I thought
he was dreadful. I think he's been poor since the Exeter game. I thought he played well at the Exeter game.
Yeah.
But after that, he hasn't looked the same player. I think he's looked kind of greedy as well. So rather than passes, he's looking to shoot. And he looks like a player that didn't get his own way in January. I think he wanted to move in January, and I think he's checked out, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Not the same Sam Nombe that we got before, because normally he'd be pressing. If you notice today, the two that were pressing the most was Gray and Watmore.
Yeah. I would like you just remind me actually. You have to give a bit of a praise to Watmore actually in that first half. Watmore excellent. The second half, I think he obviously needs his fitness back, and second half he just couldn't get going. But that first half, Duncan Watmore was great.
Obviously, he's coming towards the end of his career. He hasn't had a club for God knows how long. So his fitness ain't always going to be up to scratch. So I think he was always going to tire. But
Agreed.
he was my man of the match.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair choice. Fair choice. Yeah.
I thought his touch was class. I thought every time he got the ball, it looked like he would make something happen. I thought Benson as well. I thought that were a big loss when Benson went off.
Agreed.
He were quality in the midfield. And I thought that losing them two players, I knew we'd lost them. You know, when he took them two off. Now, I'm not slagging him off for bringing them off because I think both of them have got not fully fit. So I think if you keep them on, you're a Skindra. So I'm not blaming Matt Amshaw for taking them off, but it's what he brought on to replace them with that I had the issue with. But it is what it is. We lose again. I just can't understand why he's still been in the job. I've got loads and loads of comments.
Well, I'm going to get off then, Lee. All right. I'm going to get off now because I'm going to go home in a minute. All right.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
See you later.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
See ya.
Millers. So that's Bez again, being at the game. Disappointed. Archie Gray was his man of the match. Danny says the second half performance just sums up Matt Amshaw in charge and how bad Musk can be if Dawson still plays week in, week out. Stanley away next season. Yeah, Can is bad, mate. We have seen him, and what we have seen of him, it hasn't been very good. Tony's put himself in a position for employing Amshaw, a cheap option, backfiring regularly. Let Woody and Tong sort it out to the end of the season. God, no, please, Phil. Phil Crabtree, that I really don't want that. That really frightens me. Good game, kiss. Okay. Don't kiss men, but there you go. I'd argue we've got as much money as we've ever had, especially with what comes out with Phil Smith's investment in January. Yeah, I've heard Phil was paying the wages of the players, so yeah, I don't agree with this. We haven't got any money. Speaking with Bez at half time, Ryan Law, Neil Critchler, anyone says we have no money is delusional. We have plenty of money. That's from Adam. He's obviously been looking at the accounts. If I'm sure he's sacked, it needs a fresh start. What about Andy Woodman, Brad Bromley's manager, who is up now to work with miracles? I think the difference with the issue with Andy is he's going to have his first promotion on his CV from the league to, I don't think he's going to give that up to join the relegation battle. Could be wrong. Money talks, but it would need to be good money, and he's not proven at this level. Is that Paul Aher that goes home and away and goes on the New York Way podcast? Yeah, I think it is, mate. I think she's from the supporters club, to be honest. But she's entitled to her opinion, end of the day. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I just think when you're backing Matt Amshaw now, you are complicit in the downfall of this football club. That's my opinion. Don't have to agree with me, but that's my opinion. Thanks for having me on. Much love. No problem, John. Like I said, any fan is welcome on this show. You click the link in the bio, in the chat. We'll bring you to my lobby. And as long as you've got your camera on in that lobby, you will come straight onto the live and you can have your say on the game. Nicked anyone's chair today, Bez? I think he's relating to when he got kicked out of a chair in the pub. You Reds, Callum, so obviously he's happy. The Adibioga and Rafferty horror tackles were absolutely embarrassing. How can you come out like we did second half? And who was the one that said Martha would be worth millions? Paulo Venazza was better, and he was, oh God, I remember Paulo Venazza. Yeah, he was dreadful. Martha, I think he's got ability, but he's just not ready for English football at the minute. See you all next season in League One. Going shopping now. Yep, cheers, mate. Doncaster fan. I hope you're right. I hope we are playing you again in League One. As much as we have the banter with Donny, Rotherham, Barnsley, it is so much nicer that we're all in the same league. We don't have to go to them southern softy clubs. And I do like playing Donny, as much as banter as I give them and call them Caravan Club or whatever we call them. It's all banter. It's all love. And to be fair, the Donny fans that have been in the chat have been sound, and they've been respectful, which is good. And I thought their fans were brilliant today. I'm not going to lie. I thought they really got behind the team, and probably some of the loudest we've heard at the New York Stadium. We're so open to counters, shocking positioning. We did what we've done all season. Yeah. Wow, that's a big loss. Fans are hurting. Yeah, fans are hurting. Won't be returning until he's gone. Lots of people saying that in the chat, to be fair. They're saying they're not going again until Matt Hamshaw has been sacked. If he's still here, I won't be going. It's just not acceptable what is happening at the club. I think, Paul Ramage, you are in the majority. I think most people that I've spoken to and that have been on my chat today have said they're not going to return to watch this football under Matt Hamshaw. So the board are going to have to act, because any business relies on its customers, and the customers will start voting. We're already 2,000 fans down from the start of the season, where people have stopped going, and I think it's only going to get worse if this manager remains in charge. Sean, well, today was a proper shit show. First half played well and controlled the Pikes with Rafferty outstanding, and then second half, heartless, spineless, with Big Boy scratching his head. I was sat directly behind the Big Boy and his apprentices. Worrying thing about it is the main stand did fuck all and rolled over like happy clappers they are. Sean, totally agree with you, mate. When I went to the game, we lost 3-0 and everybody was clapping the team off. And I just couldn't believe my mince pies. I really couldn't. And I think the board will get away with it while ever the fans let them get away with it. You've got to remember, and Donny fans have moaned about the ticket pricing. We have to pay them tickets every week at home. Yeah, we're paying the highest top 3 prices in the league to watch bottom 3 football where we currently are. We're not getting value for money. We're not getting a good match day experience at all. And nothing is getting better. It's just getting worse. The chairman, nobody's heard from him. He keeps sending this Phil Smith out to do interviews here, there, and everywhere. We want to hear from our chairman. What on earth is going on at this football club? He seems to have gone into hiding. He only ever appears when it's season ticket sales or the club's doing well. When the club's struggling, you don't hear from him. It's frustrating. Say hello to Barnett for us, lads. Yeah, we will, mate. I would say hello to some non-league clubs, but we haven't played there. Him or Watmore, yeah. Nobby had very little to work with on his defence. Yeah, the graveyard shifts, mate. Like I've said, not just calling out Nobby, and had no service. I'm not returning to the club until they make a change. It's a joke. Another one, that's Callum. So many people saying they're not going until the change is made. So something needs to happen. Surely Tony needs to stand to lose money, a lot more money if he's relegated. They're playing for a proper manager. He'll come out the other week and said it makes no difference whether we're in League One or League Two to the finances. So I don't actually think they're bothered financially. Getting lots of messages coming in. So do bear with me, guys. I will try and read everybody's out, even if it's negative towards me. As you've seen that I have read them out. I try to be fair to everybody. How can they say he's weak? Gray was shoved in off 2 men at a time. escaping into pace. I don't know, mate. It's just what people said. It's not something I subscribe to. I think Harry Gray is a generational talent, and we're lucky to have him. For me, I'm sure we'll be here next season. Chris Nichols says, hope not, but if you're right, half the fan base won't be. So it's a very risky move by the football club now if they want to pack this man, because I think the majority of fans have now said enough is enough. I see that Matt Amshaw was at the match today. Phil Crabtree, yes, he was reporting for Radio Sheffield, I believe. So he was at the match. Only way he gets sacked is if we get relegated. Crazy. It's Harry Gray, not Archer. Yeah, I always get them mixed up. Neil Warnock is the guy, simple as that. Get him out of retirement. We need a rescue job now. Stop defending Big Boy. No ifs, no buts, no excuses. This is the most spineless local games I've ever witnessed. Totally agree with you, Sean. I have received Osman warnings, people wanting to say they want to beat me up, they want to do this, they want that, all for calling him a big boy. Because I said he's tactically inept, and I saw it earlier. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And for the people that are in the chat now that have seen it, you tell me, once you see it, be honest, guys, you can't unsee it. You know it's just not going to get any better with this manager. He's not going to learn quick enough. He should never have been given the choice. This ain't Maltby Main, where managers learn the trade on the job there. You can't do that at this level. You've got to have something, and he hasn't got it. Neo Hopewell says, what a shit game. Declan says, Cole Robinson, ? People in the chat, would you take Cole Robinson? Awful performance. Big Boy has got to go, surely. We would have thought so, mate, but he's done the after-match press conference, so maybe not. Maybe he doesn't go. Surely the non-executive dude can see Amit is in the way. That's the problem, John. The non-executive guy says Amit was doing a fantastic job. I actually believe he's the reason Matt Hamshaw is still here. I think if it was down to Tony Stewart alone, I think he would have probably pulled the trigger. But I think this guy's good investment, and I think he's give it on the indication that Matt Hamshaw is going to be the manager. Hope I'm wrong, but that's what I think. No, Lee, you don't go, remember. Don't come to games, wink, wink. No, mate, I don't go. When you saw me at the game, it was an optical illusion. It wasn't me. I've kept away today. I will be doing so, and under Hamshaw, even Stuart for that matter, not since, but would keep eating the food you love when you've been served up dross, and more dross. Ross, totally agree, mate. It's an entertainment business. I know you've been entertained. We're not, are we? Let's be honest. We've not been entertained for 3 years. And we've got to remember, guys, this is our centenary year. Happy centenary. People clapping, they just don't know why. Absolutely makes my weekend. So, yeah. So, John sits on the Ben Bennett. People were clapping. He asked them why they was clapping. And they responded was, we don't know. Crazy. He ain't leaving Salford in reference to Robinson. Uncle Phil made a rod for his own back, so they can't sack him. So people are saying he can't be sacked because of Phil's comments in the press this week, where he said that Matt Hamshaw has brought the Rotherham DNA back. He's done this, he's done that, and he's a fantastic manager. So, guys, that is going to wrap up the show. I want to thank you, everybody that has appeared on the show. I want to thank the Doncaster Rovers fans as well that have come on, have been respectful and wishing that we do stay up, which is nice. I want to thank everybody who's been in the chat and commented as well. Really does mean a lot, and that's the reason we do it. If you're not subscribed, please like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click your notification, and then you will see when we go live again. We will be back. We're back for the Sunday service tomorrow with Turbo Tom. That is another live phone-in show, so you can discuss any team in that live calling show. So Doncaster fans, if you want to come on, you can come on and give your opinion on the game that you've been to. So again, no special equipment needed. You just log in. As long as you've got a camera phone, you'll come into the lobby and you'll be allowed on. Same as today. So Turbo will be back on Sunday. Then we're back for Millers Monday. So we will preview to the Bradford game away from home. And then there will be a live after-match reaction where, again, fans can call in. We will have a Bradford fan on that show as well. So it will be all fun and games. Read through a couple of last comments before I go. Luke says, we do all football clubs give refunds to away games? If we did, surely we would make more fans travel. Why do all football clubs give refund to away game tickets if we did? Okay, Luke, yeah. If he loved the club as much as he says he'd do, he would just fuck off. And I will leave it on that note. We will do an emergency podcast if we do get any breaking news that Matt Hamshaw has been sacked. But yeah, other than that, we will see you on Sunday for the Sunday show with Turbo Tom. Don't let it get you down too much, lads. We've lost again. But we'll always be Rotherham United. As long as we've got a football club, we'll always continue to support our club through these hard times. Credit to all the fans that have been at the game today again. It's just been a terrible season. And hopefully we do get the news of a corner flag at some stage today. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And always up the Millers.